Hi, this is Juliana, and today I'm going to show you how to make this Dewdrop Fairy pendant. The beads I used to make this came from the Songbird Blossom Beads collection at Eureka Crystal. That collection sold out, however they do list the items separately, which are not sold out underneath the website, underneath the collection on their website, and I will leave links to all of that. Or you can purchase your supplies separately at your favorite supplier. Or you may have them in your stash, you may have them left over if you got the collection. What we used to create this pendant were, and by we, I guess I mean royal we, I mean me, what I used, are these really beautiful little magatama beads. They're 3mm. These 3mm bugles. Oh, how'd you get in there? These are Chinese crystals. I have the sizes in the description also. Two different colors, and I used both. These are O-rings, 6mm pearls, 3mm pearls. These 11O Tohos came in a collection, a mix in the collection. This is a white 11O Toho, which came in its own separate tube, which somehow mysteriously ended up missing from my table. My 5-year-old granddaughter knows nothing about that. This is 15O Miyuki, 11O Miyuki, and 8O Miyuki. Little mini duos and super duos. I also used a size 12 needle. There are some type of spots in there, so 12 is a good idea. I used a 6-pound Fireline crystal color, and this toggle came with the collection as well. And I believe that is it, so let's get started. I have loaded my needle with about a wingspan and a half of thread, added a stop bead, left about a 5-inch tail so I can weave that in. And I'm adding these Miyuki 11Os. This collection comes with 3 colors. I'm using the blue. You can use a different color. I used the green on this one. You can use a different color from the collection or a different color from your stash. So there's 11 of the, not 11, I'm sorry, there's 12 of the 11O Miyukis and 12 of these Magatama beads that I'm going to refer to as drops throughout the video because I don't want to say Magatama 100 times. 12 of each. Slide them down until you get to your stop bead. And then you're going to go through all of them again. When you get around to the beginning, go through a couple, 3 or 4 more, and you're going to come out of one of the 11Os. Pull that snug. Pick up an 11O Toho. Go through the other side of the 11O Miyuki, through the drop, and through the next 11O Miyuki. Pick up an 11O Toho, through the other side of the Miyuki, the drop, and the next Miyuki. And we are going to do that all the way around. Coming up to my last Toho. I'm coming out of this 11O right here. I'm going to flip this over and go, just so I can bead in the right direction, and go up through that Toho. I'm going to pick up one 11O, one bugle. I'm going to pick up one bugle, one 11O, and another bugle. I did this 11O in a different color. You don't have to. I'm going to skip this Toho and go to the next. Coming out of that Toho, one bugle, one 11-0, one Toho, skip the next 11-0 and go to the next. We're going to do that all the way around. Getting up to my last set of bugles, going through that 11-0. Going to go up the next bugle and into the 11-0 that we just added in the middle of the bugles. Pull everything snug. Pick up 3 11-0s, and I'm doing a different color here. You don't have to. And this is all going to sit on the back of the piece, so it's not a big deal really what colors you put on here. Coming out of that 11-0, I'm going to go to the 11-0 in the next group of bugles. Three 11-0s. I'm doing the pink. Going through the next 11-0 in the set of bugles. We're going to do that all the way around. Pull everything snug. Coming up to my last set of the 3 pink 11-0s. Going through that green. I'm going to pull it snug, but not too snug. I went ahead and threaded my tail thread. I'm going to tie that off. If you already know how to do that, skip this portion. I'm time stamping it, and we will return to the, you can just skip it to the next time stamp. For those of you who might not know how to do this, I have my stop bead right there. I've got a needle on. I'm going through the stop bead to get it off. Oh, lost my needle. Be right back. And I'm back. I've got a needle in my little tiny tail thread. I'm coming out of this 11-0 right here. I'm just going to tie a knot right there. Go to the thread bridge. I'm going to pull everything snug first. Pull everything snug. Go under the little bridge of thread that's right there between those two beads. You're going to have a little loop form. You go through the loop with your needle. Hang on to your thread so you don't pull your needle off like I just did a minute ago. And pull that tight. That's a little half hitch knot. Go through a couple more beads. And do it again. Under the thread that's between those two beads. Makes a little loop. Go through your loop. Make sure your loop stays between those two beads. Don't get caught on another bead, and then pull it tight. Through a few more. Usually tie about 3 half hitches under that thread bridge. I'll lose my needle again. Go through the loop. Snug. Tie it tight. Then you just go through a couple more beads. Get away from your knot so that when you cut your thread off, you pull your needle off, your knot doesn't come loose. And you can either cut or tie off, cut or burn off your tail thread there. And that's it. It's that simple. Now we're back to our working thread. Got all our pinks on. I'm going to go ahead and get my stone and put it face down in my little basket here. My little bezel. Start pulling everything tighter. Coming out of this green 11 over here, I'm going through 2 of the pinks. Pull all that a little bit tighter. And I'm going to pick up 3 of the 8-0, they're not 8-0, 3 of the 11-0 Tohos. And I'm going to go through the middle bead of the next set of pink. Pull out snug. 3 11-0 Tohos. Next set of 3, go through the middle bead only. We're going to do that all the way around. Just pull it snug after each time. Hold your stone in until the bezel holds it for you. Coming up to my last set of Tohos. Pushing that over. I'm just going to go around and go through the Tohos only. And then I'm going to go through 2 of the next set of Tohos. And I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s and go through the middle of the next set of Tohos. Push them toward the center of the piece there. 3 15-0s through the next center Toho. We're going to do that all the way around. Coming up to my last set of 3 15-0s. I'm going to go through the first 2 of the next set. Pick up an 11-0 Toho. Go through the middle of the next set. Pick up an 11-0 Toho through the middle of the next set. And I'm going to do that all the way around, and when I get all the Tohos on, I'm going to go through, just like we did on this row, I'm going to go through the Tohos only, and I'm probably going to do that 3 or 4 times just to make this good and secure and snug, and then we'll be back. I've added all my Tohos, and I've gone around them, just the Tohos alone, about 4 times just to make everything secure and tight, snug. Coming out of this Toho right here, I'm going to go through my 15-0s, and if I can, the Toho in the middle of the pair of 3, or pair, in the middle of the set of 3. Pull that all snug. I go down through the next Toho. And the 11-0 next to it. Up through this next 11-0 and then 11-0 next to that. I'm going to go up through the bugle bead and the Toho. I am going to pick up a super duo and go into the next Toho. Pull it snug, pick up a super duo, and go into the next Toho. And you'll notice some of these Tohos are connected to bugles, and some of them are free floating. You need to put a super duo between all of them. We're going to do that all the way around. Coming up to the last super duo, going through that 11-0 Toho, and the super duo next to it, and the 11-0 next to that. Make sure those are all straight. Not twisted is what I mean. They don't have to be straight, but not twisted. Go through that next super duo. Pull everything snug. And go up the open hole of that super duo, that same super duo. And pick up a drop, an O bead, and a drop. Go into the open hole of the next super duo. Drop, O bead, drop, into the next super duo. We're going to do that all the way around. Pull it snug as you go. Coming up to my last drop and O bead, and I'm going through this next super duo, and I'm going to do all three of the drop, O bead, drop, and through the next super duo, and I'm going to flip this over to the back. I go through one more set of O beads and drops. Through the next super duo. I'm going to pick up a bugle bead and go into this little middle colored bead between the two bugles down here. Pick up a bugle bead, go up through the next super duo, and if you can get it, the next trio. Through the super duo, pick up a bugle through that next 11-0, pick up a bugle through the next super duo, and we're going to do that all the way around. Just make sure they're sitting, properly. I have put on my last set of bugles, and I'm going through the super duo and then through the drop, O-ring drop set, and I'm also going to flip around to the front of the piece. So I am coming out of a drop that's next to a super duo. I'm going to pick up a 3mm pearl and go into the next drop and just go through that whole set. And I'm going to kind of keep that pearl toward the back of the piece. Pick up a pearl, go through the next set. And I keep it toward the back of that super duo. We're going to do that all the way around. Coming up to the last pearl, going through that set of 3, 2 drops in the O bead, making sure all my pearls are sitting kind of behind those drops and kind of behind the super duos. And I'm going to go up through that pearl, that next pearl. I pick up an 11-0 of whichever color you want, a super duo, and an 11-0. I'm going to go through the next pearl. $11.0, super duo, $11.0 through the next pearl. We're going to do that all the way around. Bullet snag when you do it. Coming up to my last super duo, going through the next pearl and that next 11-0. I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and go down through this O-ring. Pick up a 15-0 and go through the next 11-0 pearl, 11-0. I'm going to push those little 15-0s down so they kind of straddle that O-ring on either side. Pick up a 15-0 into the O-ring. $15.0 and into that next 11-0 pearl and 11-0. If you can get them all at once, that's great. If not, you can one at a time them. We're going to do that all the way around. I have added the last, I'm adding the last 15-0, going through this 11-0 pearl, 11-0. I'm going to go through that super duo, flip it over, go through the top hole of the super duo, pick up a pearl, still 3mm, the drop, and a pearl, go through the next super duo. Pearl, drop, pearl, if I can get one of these little slippery pearls. Next, super duo. We're going to do that all the way around. On my last pearl set, whoops, going through that super duo, I'm going to go to the bottom of that same super duo and up through the 11-0. Pull everything snug, pick up a 15-0 and go through the drop. Pick up a 15-0, go through the next 11-0. Through the super duo to the 11-0. Through the 11-0 if you can get it. Pick up a 15-0, go through the drop. Pick up a 15-0. Through the next 11-0. Super duo and 11-0 if you can get it. We're going to do that all the way around. On my last 15-0, going through that 11-0. I want to make sure those drops kind of pop to the front. And flip it to the back, go up that super duo and through the pearl. I'll just do those one at a time since it's being stubborn. Push that drop toward the front. Coming out of that pearl, I'm going to pick up an 8-0. My thread's being wiggy. Coming out of this side of this pearl, I'm going to go to the opposite side of the pearl below it. And go through that opposite side. Things are really tight in here, so if you're not using a size 12, you might want to be. Kind of finagle it through that pearl. My hook or crook. My needle's so bent, that's not helping. Yeah, I'm going to go back up through the 8-0. And into this next pearl. And if you can, the super duo and the following pearl. Pick up an 8-0, coming out of this side of this pearl. Going to go down through the opposite side of the one below it. Oh, that was so much easier than the last one. up through the 8/0 and through the next pearl, super duo pearl. And we're going to do that all the way around. I'm going to try to straighten out my needle a little too, because look at it, it's so sad looking. I'll be back. So we're going to bezel this Chaton, this 8mm. I added a wingspan of thread to my needle and put a stop bead on, and then onto that thread I have put on 10 of each of these beads. 10 11/0 Miyukis and 10 Magatama drops, and slide those all the way down to the bottom, and then you're going to go through them all again. Careful not to miss any. And if you can get them all on your needle, you can check to see if you have a needle showing anywhere. That means you missed something, like I have right there. Some needle showing. So I'm going to come back through and catch that bead. Check it again, and it all looks good. I'm going to slide those down to the bottom. Well, they're already on the bottom. I'm just going to pull it tight. And then I'm going to go through all of those beads one more time. When you get to the beginning, go through a couple of them till you get to one of the 11/0 Miyukis, and that's what you want to be coming out of. And I'm going to pick up an 11/0 Miyuki, and I'm going to go through the drop and through the next Miyuki. Pick up an 11/0, go through the Miyuki, the drop, and the next Miyuki 11/0. We're going to do that all the way around. Alright, I'm on my last 11/0. I went through the drop and the next Miyuki. I'm going to just flip this over and go up to the Miyuki on top of it, the 11/0. And I am going to pick up an 11/0, one of the 11/0 Tohos, and go through the next 11/0 Miyuki. Ran out of my Tohos, hang on. Pick up an 11/0 and go through the next green or whatever color you're using there, 11/0. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm on my last 11/0 Toho. And give it a little tug. You're going to see that you're cupping here, and that's okay. That's what you want it to do. I'm going to pick up a 15/0, go to the next Toho. Next Toho. I'm going to push that 15/0 around to the interior of your little cup there. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm on my last 15/0, going through this last Toho and then the 15/0 next to it. I'm going to pick up a 15-0. I'm going to go through the next 15-0. And I'm going to go ahead and put my Chaton in face down and just kind of hold it in there for now. I'm going to pull to a little snug when I put these 15-0s on for this row. So 15-0 and into the next 15-0. Just pull it snug, and we'll do that all the way around. On my last 15-0, I'm going into that 15-0 and then the one above it. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up another 15-0, skip this 15-0 and go into the next, the one that's kind of poking out. Pick up a 15-0, skip one, go into the next one that's kind of poking out. Keep pulling things snug. Do that all the way around. See you back here. Alright, I'm on my last 15-0, going into that 15-0 and the one next to it. Pulling all that snug. And coming out of this 15-0, I'm just going to go around and just go through the 15-0s that I just added in that last row. So I'm coming out of that one, I'm skipping that like step down one and going back up through the next pokey outy kind of 15-0. Just the ones I just added in that last row. And I'll be back. I'm going to do that all the way around. Alright, I finished going around this little circle and actually went through it twice. And pull it super snug each time you go through it. I also threaded my tail thread and went ahead and wove that in. If you want to go ahead and do that, you can pause and do it and come back, or you may have already done it, or you may not want to do it till later. That's up to you. However you want to do it. So I am coming out of this bead right here, this 15-0, and I'm going to go up through these two 15-0s. Now I'm coming out of this one. I'm going to go into this green 11-0 right here. And then back up the green 11-0 above it. And the drop bead. Trying to see what color I used on this. I'm going to pick up a crystal looking delica bead. Now this collection came with a mix of delicas, different colors, so you could use any color that you wanted, but I decided to go with the crystal. Use anything in your stash too. And I'm going to go from this drop bead into the next one. Pick up your delica and go into the next drop. Yes, I am working awkwardly backwards. Not the direction I prefer. We're going to do that all the way around. coming up to my last delica. Got it on my needle, going through that drop bead there and the 11-0. And I'm going to come back up through the delica on top of that 11-0. And I'm going to be working in my favorite direction, backwards, not so much. Pick up a 15-0, coming out of the delica, go into the next delica. And I'm going to start pulling those delicas toward the Chaton in the middle. 15-0, next delica. I'm going to tug them toward the middle. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm on my last 15-0, going through that delica, and then the 15-0 next to the delica. We're stepping up. So now I'm coming out of that 15-0. I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and go into the next 15-0. Pick up a 15-0 and into the next 15-0. Doing that all the way around. And you see I'm kind of pushing it toward the middle too. See you in a few. That's my last second line of 15-0s. Going through that 15-0. So I'm coming out of one of those first tiers of 15-0s. I'm going to pick up a 15-0 and I'm going to skip this next 15-0 and go in the one below it. So it's going to be over that delica there. Pick up a 15-0. Coming out of that one, skip the next one, go in the one below it. We're going to do that all the way around. On my last 15-0, going over that delica, skipping this 15-0 and into that 15-0 on the bottom row. These are kind of dimensional. I kind of wanted them that way because to me it looks like the middle of a flower. So I'm coming out of this 15-0 right here. I'm going to go down through that drop bead and the 11-0 next to it. I'm going to flip this over so I can bead in the right direction. I'm going to coming out of that 11-0, I'm going to come down to the bottom one here and go through that. And then pick up a 3mm pearl and go right into that next 11-0. Millimeter pearl and into the next 11-0. We're going to do that all the way around. Coming up on my last pearl. That's what you should have so far. I'm going to pick up a mini duo well, hang on a minute, getting ahead of myself here. I'm coming out of that 11-0 right there. I'm going to go through the pearl. Now I'm going to pick up a mini duo and go into the next pearl. Mini duo, next pearl. We're going to do that all the way around. I'm adding my last mini duo, going through that pearl and the next mini duo. It launched. Okay, I'm going to pick up a 15-0, an 11-0, and a 15-0. And you can do this in any color. The collection came with green and pink and blue. I'm going to use the blue. You can use any of these or any color you've got on hand. I'm going to go through the bottom of the next mini duo. So I'm coming out of the bottom, going through the bottom. 15-0, 11-0, 15-0. You could even do all three colors if you wanted to. Going through the bottom of the next mini duo. Can't seem to hang on to that today. I'm going to do that all the way around. I'm finishing up my little 11-0s and 15-0s, going through the bottom of this mini duo, and through that next 15-0 and 11-0. And I'm going to go through that 15-0 and the mini duo. Flip back over again, and I'm going to go up the top of that mini duo I'm coming out of. I'm going to go through the 15-0, skip the 11-0, and go back through the 15-0 on the other side, skipping the 11-0, and through the top of the mini duo. Through the next 15-0, yeah, it's trying to catch every other bead in there. Skip the 11-0, through the next 15-0, and the top of the mini duo. We're going to do that all the way around. Alright, I've gone through my last little trio here, coming out of this 15-0. I'm going to go up through that top hole of that mini duo. Now you'll need one more of these. We're going to put these on this and connect them together. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I don't know if you want to, what I'm going to do is just make some half hitches and keep my thread so that I can connect them with this thread. You can do that. You can make your half hitches and tie it off and get a new thread to connect them. However you want to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the half hitches and make my other piece. I'm going to probably show you how to put this on before I make the other piece. but I'll be back in a few. We're going to connect these components together. I've already done this side over here. However you left off this piece, if you tie it off and you're putting a new thread in, or you're using your thread, your tail thread that was already there, you just want to make sure you're coming out of this little mini duo. Then you're going to pick up an 11-0, a pearl, one of the super duos, a pearl, and an 11-0. And you can use any of the 11-0 colors you want. I'm using the pink. Coming out of this mini duo right here, I'm going around to, if you can look on the back here, okay, this one coming out of this 8-0. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and the third one over is where I'm going to put this. So I'm coming out of this part of this mini duo. I'm going to go into this side of the 8-0. And you want to make sure, really what you're trying to make sure here, and ask me why I'm telling you this, because I do this all the time. You want to make sure that both of your crystals are up. I put this one on the first time with this way. It's frustrating, so make sure your crystal's going to come up in the right direction. Pick up a 15-0, a pearl, and go into your other side of your super duo. And then pick up a pearl. These are the little 3mm pearls, I guess I should be saying. And an 11-0. And we're going to, this coming out of this mini duo, we're going to skip over to this one over here and go right through there. Okay. I'm tangled. Hopelessly tangled. Just a minute. Okay, we got it. Everything's right side up. Crystal, crystal, crystal. Coming out of this mini duo, I'm going to go down the other side of that duo and through the pearl. Well, let's do it one at a time since it's being stubborn. Through the pearl. Pull everything snug. Through the bottom of this mini duo. And then through the top of that same mini duo. down through the 11-0 and the pearl. Actually, just down through the 11-0. I'm going to pick up 3 15-0s. I'm going to go through this super duo and the pearl. Through the 11-0 and the 8-0. Thread's liking to get caught today. Up the 11-0. Pick up 3 15-0s. Go through the opposite side of the super duo. Go up your 3 15-0s. Through that 11-0. Through the middle 11-0 there between your two minis. Come down through this 11-0. Pick up 1 15-0 and go through this center 15-0 here in this group of 3. Pick up 1 15-0, go through the super duo. Pull everything snug. Pick up a 15-0, go through the middle of that group of 15-0s. And pick up a 15-0. And you'll see one little 11 over here that's not connected to a 15-0. I'm going to go through that. Okay, pull everything snug. And you can go through your 8-0 at the bottom there. That is what you should have. And you could go through and reinforce the Super Duo Pearl if you want to. Just go through that whole circuit again, following your thread path, just to reinforce that connection. Keep it kind of strong. But we are going to move on to adding your chain next. See you in a few. We have both of our units attached, and now we're going to add this little pearl chain, which I've already done on the other side. So I have about 4 feet of thread here, mainly because I like to go back through, snake back through that chain and reinforce it. So wherever you have your thread, or if you're adding your thread, you want to end up, I just threaded my way through this path here to wind up coming out of this mini duo that's opposite our connection part, our connection piece. So where you have these two are opposite of this. So I'm coming out of, I swear, my cat. He's not even in here and his hair's on my mat. We are going to pick up an 11-0, a super duo, and an 11-0 coming out of this mini duo right here. I'm going to go into the next mini duo. Down through the bottom of that same mini duo, and through the pearl, one at a time if you have to, together if you can get it. Through the bottom of the next mini duo. And through the top of that mini duo. Through the 11-0. And the super duo. And pick up 3 15-0s. Go through the top of the super duo. Pick up 3 15-0s. Go through the bottom of the super duo. And go through, I'm going to flip this around, those 3 15-0s. Alright. The needle's a little bent. I might have to one at a time them. Go through that top super duo, down through the 3 15-0s and into that 11-0. I'm going to go through the blue 11-0 below. Back up through this 11-0 and the 3 15-0s. I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and a pearl and a silver 11-0. I'm going to slide that down. Go back through the pearl. Pick up an 11-0 in the pink. And go back through these 3 15-0s. Pull all that snug. And then just go through that bottom super duo. Again, pull back up through the 15-0s. 3 at a time, 1 at a time, 2 at a time, however you want to do it. And then through the 11-0 and the pearl. And I'm going to go through that 11-0 on the top. Top of the pearl. I'm going to pick up a, see what color did I start with? Blue. Pick up a blue crystal, an 11-0, pearl, 11-0. These are all the silver 11-0s. Pink crystal, 11-0. Slide that down. And I'm going to do this pattern until I get the length I want. I did this one, I think I gave it 8 inches. But let me count up the pearls for you. Hang on a second while I do that. So I did 16 pearls and ended with a pink crystal. You can do all one color crystal. You can alternate with something else in there if you want. I think I did 8 inches of, that worked out to about 8 inches. And anyway, go ahead and put on as many as you want to whatever length you want. And like I said, it can be same color, different color crystals. And I will be back when we get to the end of this little strand right here. I have finished my strand down to the last little pink with the 11-0 silver added on the end here. And what I did with the other one was, in addition to that silver 11-0 on the end, I added 12 more of the 11-0 silvers for this end of the toggle. So I'm going to do the same for this piece. I'm going to add 12 more. I'm going to go through the toggle. I'm going to come back down through that first 11-0 and that crystal below it. This is the exact same thing I did on the other side, so when you go to do the other side, I'm going to do it the same way. And then I am going to take my thread and I'm going to go down this whole length of beads through the 11-0, down through the top of this Super Duo, back up through the 11-0, and back all the way up this. Reinforce that loop, and I would probably do that twice. And at the end you want this loop where your toggle is sitting on beads, not on string. So you want to reinforce it a couple of times. And then I will see you back here. Okay, so I've gone back and forth and reinforced everything, and this is the finished product. I hope you liked making it. I thought it was fun to make. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. Hit the notification bell if you would like to see more like it. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's free to you and it helps me build this channel. I'm thinking about making a bracelet with these components too, so stay tuned for that. I'm a little slow making things right now because it's summer and I have my grandchild that I'm watching, so it's taking me a little bit longer to get these videos out, but I will be picking up speed again as school returns in August. Okay, see you next time. Bye.